Hey, welcome to Keight Crafts. I'm Kate. Today I would like to share with you my first attempt with mirror stamping. Let's get started. So to kick things off, I have removed the padding in the little booklet that come in my MISTI, and I am taking my 5x7 Gelli plate and we are going to place this in the middle. Now, this is attempt number one. I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing. I had a few suggestions, so I'm going to try them. So what I've done here is I've just taken my paper to give me an idea of where this needs to be, and then I will remove the copy paper and we will just ink that up. Now this is just trial and error right now until I decide on how exactly I want to do this, because I was just playing at this point and wasn't quite sure how this is going to all come together. So come along for the ride. So there's first attempt. And then the second attempt, I am taking I think this was an exclusive stamp set that I got with I don't know, maybe it was Stamp Timber or something like that. And this is a Simon Stamp Says Stamp mini plaid. And all I've done is flipped it over to get the flat side. And again, I'm repeating the process of inking up the stamp and stamping it as if I would paper. That way I could get an impression on the flat side of the back of the stamp. And then once I'm done, then I'll do the copy paper just to see how it looks. Now, this isn't the end result kind of thing. This is just me messing around, trying to figure out what I like best. And what I've learned is that the image is not perfect. No matter how many times you stamp it, it is not perfect, but it's close enough. Next, I am just going to freehand it. Yes, freehand it. I know I get such anxiety with freehanding stamps, but I figured this would be a fun idea. So I'm just taking the little um, main squeeze here, the lion from Heffy Doodle, and I'm just inking it up in some mustard seed, and I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to go with these, and I'm just stamping the plate. Yeah, stamping the jelly plate. Now, I don't get to play with the jelly plate too often because it is a controlled mess, and I, I don't know, I'm not really into making the backgrounds, though this was a lot of fun to try. So, I don't know, maybe in the future I might do another segment of jelly prints. So, now that I've gotten all of the lions kind of stamped out on the jelly plate, I'm going in with the crown. Now, it's a little hard to see, but you can kind of see where the yellow is, so I'm going in between the yellow lions with the antique linen here. Uh, I wasn't sure what kind of ink I wanted to use, but I had the colors that I liked in my Distress inks, and they don't get nearly as much love as some of my other ones. So once I've got that all stamped out, I'm just going to gently press down on my paper here on the gel plate, and once I'm satisfied with that, we are going to put that stamp away, move a few things around while it just sits there for a second. And then once I've had it sat for a while, I'm just going to peel that up, and there you go. So we have a mirrored print of our little lions. And off camera, I've gone ahead and cut and die cut and colored all my images that I have today. Now, that lion, that main squeeze, I just thought he was really cute. And the combination of colors that I used was, I believe it was like a YR 24, 23, 21, a Y 23 and 21, and an E 23, I think. Don't quote me on it. I'll have to check later, and I'll try to remember to leave it in the description box below. But I've taken some foam, some really thin foam squares here, and we are going to use them to prop up our sentiment now. I don't know how to explain it. This was quite the challenge with the vertical sentiment here. Now, comes from the very vertical greeting stamp by Heffy Doodle, and it's an interesting stamp set. It's got friend and thanks, smiles, hello, happy hugs, love you, and miss you, and they all go up and down. And this was something very new to me because I've never really worked with vertical stamps. I think I have one stamp with a vertical, like, season's greetings, and I think it's like a woodware or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, this was kind of a bit of a challenge to me because I don't normally deal in up and down sentiments, so it's kind of like, how do I want to put this together on the card? So what I've done is I've taken just a banner die, and it was a little too wide for my liking, so I cut it down, just shaved off a little bit of a hair on either side, and then that way I had it a little bit thinner. So with the foam tape that I've got here, it's propped it up just a little bit, and I've gone ahead and snipped off that edge. And then that way I could put my little crown at the top there and my lion. So I'm just going to glue my crown down with some Barely Arts glue, grab my reverse tweezers, and I thought about putting it askew, but then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave this as is and put it straight. And next, I wasn't sure how I wanted to ground my lion, and I had this extra little sliver of glitter cardstock from cutting out my border here. Now you can see that there's a little bit of a window in that border. Uh, I'm not going to be using it as a window. I'm going to be using it as a background, but I wanted to save some of that glitter cardstock because I don't have much of it left. And yeah, so I thought this would be perfect just to ground our little lion here with just a little tiny strip of gold. And the border there that I have that I'm going to be using for the background is the stitched round Imperial rectangle. Now, Heffy Doodle has two different sizes. They have an Imperial US size and a metric UK and EU size because their card sizes are different. So I've taken a little bit of glue on the inside line there, and then I'm going to take a little glue on the outside line there, as you can see. That way I get enough adhesion, and then I'll line that up and then just give that a quick mash down. But I needed something to kind of, I don't know, it needed something. So I grabbed this gold gel pen that my friend Liz sent me in the mail, and I'm just going to go around and add a couple of little dots here. And I thought, maybe I'll add a little bit of dots in the background. So I'm just going to go around and add a few dots. And while I'm adding some dots, I should probably tell you a little bit about the Heffy Doodle challenge. So their challenge this month is Mirror Mirror, and they are mirroring stamps, and that's something I've never done before. So I figured I would throw my name in the hat, and I guess what you can win is a 35-pound gift voucher to their store. And to enter, all you have to do is add a picture of your project in an album in their Heffy Doodlers group, and yeah, and I guess it's till March 31st. I don't know, this is the first time I've ever entered into their challenge, and recently I've been playing a lot with my Heffy Doodle stamps, which aren't very many, but that might change in the near future. So I've gone ahead and double stuck my card panel here and made sure that it's got as good enough adhesion as it's going to get. And because I don't have something to round the corners on this for this size, I'm just going to take my very sharp Cricut scissors here and just trim off by hand. As much as I don't like the hand cutting of things, I prefer straight lines and even cuttings. This is going to have to do. So now that I've got that all cut off, my card is complete. I hope you enjoyed today's attempt at mirror stamping, and if you think I've earned it, please give this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribe. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care.